building number 7 collapsed. There's not a word about it. Everybody admits there is no explanation for why building number 7 collapsed. In most cities, this would have been the biggest building, 47 stories high. It can be ignored only because it was next to the towers.
From the viewpoint of the televised footage, we can clearly see the outline of World Trade Center 7 as it falls.
Fire for hours, and the smoke just seemed to intensify, but we really couldn't see a lot of damage from this angle, from the north side of the structures. That's why everybody was so surprised when all of a sudden it just fell. I just never for the life of me thought that these huge buildings that have been here so long would actually just fall, and that's what happened. They just crumbled.
Now let's use forward and reverse to analyze the shock wave that ripped through the building.
You know, we heard this sound that sounded like a clap of thunder. Turned around, we were shocked to see that the building was, well, it looked like there was a shock wave ripping through the building, and the windows all busted out, and it was horrifying. And then, about a second later, the bottom floor caves out, and the building followed after that, and we saw the building crash down all the way to the ground. We were in shock.
Difficulties around the area. New Jersey Transit outbound Hoboken Terminal operating on a load-and-go basis, no inbound service, and also out of Newark Penn Station, limited service on the Northeast Corridor and North Jersey coastlines and the Raritan line as well, and limited service from Penn Station New York into Penn Station in Newark, and no service into the city on New Jersey Transit. Also, New Jersey Transit operating on a load-and-go basis out of New York's Penn Station.
Well, Al, I didn't realize because the other towers are so big, but number 7 is 47 stories.
People starting to run away from the scene, and I turned in time to see what looked like a skyscraper implosion. Looked like it had been done by a demolition crew. The whole thing just collapsing down on itself, and another big, huge plume of gray and white smoke shooting up into the air, and then more of the smoke billowing up the street here.
Once again, our definition of a pyroclastic flow. Hot gases carrying dust and debris flow along the ground with a fluid motion. It requires explosive energy to generate the necessary heat, dust, and debris. Turbulence and fluidization of debris are characteristic. Let's watch the fall of 7 World Trade again, this time with Rick's original audio. Mount Pinatubo's eruption illustrates the fluid movement of the pyroclastic flow.
Difficulties around the area. New Jersey Transit outbound Hoboken Terminal operating on a load-and-go basis, no inbound service, and also out of Newark Penn Station, limited service on the Northeast Corridor and North Jersey coastlines and the Raritan line as well, and limited service from Penn Station New York into Penn Station in Newark, and no service into the city on New Jersey Transit. Also, New Jersey Transit operating.
I remember getting a call from the fire department commander telling me that they were not sure they were going to be able to contain the fire. And I said, we've had such terrible loss of life. Maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
Around the area, New Jersey Transit outbound Hoboken Terminal operating on a load-and-go basis, no inbound service, and also out of Newark Penn Station, limited service on the Northeast Corridor and North Jersey coastlines and the Raritan line as well, and limited service from Penn Station New York into Penn Station in Newark, and no service into the city on New Jersey Transit. Also, New Jersey